It's just so conventional and familiar. I think this will appeal to a lot of people who don't really want anything different. You could make the mistake of going to a petrol pump in this car. Hello guys, and welcome to this Volks Wizard video, which is the fourth in a series of 4 videos during which I try and review a car within just 10 minutes. Today's car is the Audi Q4 E-tron. It's the first premium launch on the MEB platform, which underpins the ID.3, ID.4 and Skoda Enyaq. It's set to become Audi's second biggest seller in the UK after the A3, so it's such a significant car, I had to come and review it for you guys. Now we'll start off with some statistics. It sits in size between the Q3 and Q5, as you could probably work out by the name. There are 4 different specs. There's the Sport, the S-Line and Edition 1. There's also a Vorsprung. There are 3 different battery types. The 35 has a 52 kilowatt hour battery, 168 horsepower, 310 newton meters of torque and a 208 mile range. The 40, which is this one, has got a 77 kilowatt hour battery and 201 horsepower, 310 newton meters of torque and a 360 mile range. At the top of the tree we have the 50 E-tron Quattro, which has a 77 kilowatt battery, but it also has a motor on the front axle, making it 4-wheel drive. It's got 295 horsepower, which is pretty chunky, 460 newton meters of torque, and it does 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds, which is over 2 seconds quicker than the 40. It's got a top speed of 112 miles an hour, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for an electric vehicle outside of Germany, it is ample. And it has a range of 295, so a bit less than the 40, but the performance is much better. Prices start at 40,750 for a sport model, and you pay an extra £1,500 to £1,700 for a Sportback, which is coming later in the year. The S-Line, which is probably going to be the biggest seller, it's 42,850, comes with 20-inch wheels, more aggressive styling, privacy glass, sport suspension with a 15mm drop. Then we have the Edition 1, which has matrix LEDs, black styling pack, and it's got paddles to switch on and off the regenerative braking, which is pretty damn cool. £55,000 gets you the bells and whistles of Vorsprung as well. All the models get Drive Select, which includes the range mode for maximum efficiency. Right, let's now have a look at the outside, the inside, and then go for a drive. Okay, so externally it looks just like an Audi. It's not particularly wacky in any way. It doesn't look like a weird electric vehicle like some of them, even ID.3, ID.4. The only real difference is that we've got a solid grille there because we don't need that for cooling. And it just looks right. You can tell it's an electric vehicle mostly by the fact we haven't got disc brakes, we've just got drums there. But other than that, it just looks like an Audi. It's got a full width light bar at the back, E-tron logo in the back bumper, but that could mean it's a hybrid. So yeah, there's nothing really to mark it out, but it does look like a very good looking car. And this rake on the tailgate, it's not even the Sportback model, this is just a normal model, so the Sportback will be even sleeker. Inside, it's very, very conventional, and that's no bad thing. We've got a shifter down here for going from reverse to drive to neutral, USBs down there, start button there. It looks like a normal Audi. There's nothing particularly weird about it. Quality is pretty good. The plastics down here are a little bit cheap and cheerful, but overall the impression is of pretty damn good quality. The paddles here are for switching the regenerative braking, which is really cool, and fabric's pretty nice. Carpets are okay, door cards look alright. It's not Audi at its best, but it's not bad at all. In the back, this is where the difference is over a normal internal combustion Audi. The electric vehicle platform just makes better use of the space available. So I'm 6'4", I've got so much knee room, and it doesn't really feel like a particularly big car. The E-tron is a bigger car than this, but this just feels a bit more like it uses its space better. Likewise, the boot is big. Underneath we've got room for the cables. We've got a power tailgate. Yeah, it's very tempting. The Enyaq is great, Skoda Enyaq is great, but it's a bit basic. If you want the premium badge and a slightly nicer interior, is this worth an extra 10,000 quid? Well, I'll let you decide. Right, now let's go for a drive in Audi's Q4 E-tron. Okay, so as I said, it's pretty conventional in here. There's a start button on the center console. You can press that, or you can just put your foot on the brake, select drive, you hear that bong, and you're ready to go. The infotainment screen is angled towards the driver. We've got cruise control down here. It's just so conventional and familiar. I think this will appeal to a lot of people who don't really want anything different. You could make the mistake of going to a petrol pump in this car. It just feels so normal. We've got a head-up display on this car, which I don't particularly like, but some people may. Okay, so we're back on Millbrook's hill route. We've got drive select here. Let's put it in something a bit sporty then. So drive select in, I think we should go dynamic. We've got adaptive dampers on this car, which is a nice little luxury. So back in the day, Audis used to be really hard and dynamic mode used to be pretty unusable, but over these speed humps it still feels, yeah, pretty compliant. I would imagine it weighs around 2 tons like all these electric SUVs do. And on this tight corner, yeah, you can feel the weight, but then if you get on the gas, you can feel the drive shift to the back, and it's lovely and neutral. They really have got the driving sorted with these EVs. I mean, they have so much weight, but it's in the right place. It's very low down on the car. So even something like Millbrook's really gnarly hill route doesn't feel too bad. If you were taking this car to the Alps, you'd probably have a reasonably good time. Keep on using the pedals to change gear, but that's wrong. It's only for regenerative braking, so you can up them. There's a little gauge on the dashboard tells you how much regenerative braking you're using. I don't think we need any on this track, so let's just back it all the way off. And the brakes, well, I always think electric vehicle brakes aren't really designed for the abuse you can put them through on a track like this, because you do so much regenerative braking. But it seems all right. Let's see how it handles this bank corner. Yeah, these cars are just incredible. Chassis development must have come on massively in recent years to be able to control cars like this that are 2 tons and sit high as well. So over this crest, such a nasty corner that. You can get on the gas early, feel the rear motor power you around. Now we've got the jump, hold tight. Whoa, I think we did take off then actually. And then this gnarly tightening corner, back on the gas, and you can just feel it helping you round. It's just incredible what the torque vectoring can do when you've got rear wheel drive and so much instant torque. And then last corner now, check it in on the brakes. And a bit of a slide there with the back helping us round. That's a pretty impressive showing from the Q4 E-tron. Okay, we've done the hill route. Now I thought we'd take it on to Millbrook's high-speed bowl to see how it cruises, because let's face it, that's what most of you guys will be doing most of the time in cars like these. So we've got 20-inch wheels, but we've got a reasonable high-profile tyre on there, so there's not an awful lot of tyre noise on this noisy concrete. This is 70 miles an hour, the UK speed limit, and it's so incredibly quiet. Electric vehicles do refinement so well just by the very nature of having a very silent motor doing all the work. Okay, let's go a little bit faster then. So that's 80 again, not an awful lot of difference, tiny bit more wind noise now. Let's go up to 90 for those of you who live in Germany. Is it any louder? Not really. Tiny bit more wind noise. And then let's go full fat, 100 miles an hour. And there you go, it's not even really any noisier. That is incredible. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this Volks Wizard video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, please do comment, please do share, please do subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one very soon.